Dennis Bergkamp, the genius who never needed pace. Football has always fallen in love with speed. The fastest winger, the quickest striker, the player who could leave defenders behind in a single sprint. Dennis Bergkamp offered football something completely different. He didn't outrun defenders. He outthought them. Long before the ball reached his feet, he already knew where it was going next. While everyone else reacted, Bergkamp was creating the future. Born in Amsterdam in 1969, Dennis Bergkamp grew up surrounded by football. In the Netherlands, the game wasn't simply played. It was understood. Every pass mattered. Every movement had a purpose. Every player learned to think before acting. For Bergkamp, that became second nature. At Ajax, his extraordinary talent quickly became impossible to ignore. The famous academy wasn't interested in producing athletes. It produced football thinkers. And Dennis Bergkamp became one of its brightest students. His touch was effortless. His vision was extraordinary. His composure seemed endless. While other young forwards chased defenders, Bergkamp studied them. He watched how they moved, how they turned, where they looked. Then he exploited every weakness. His legs followed the game. His mind was already there. Goals came naturally. But Bergkamp wasn't obsessed with scoring. He was obsessed with creating beauty. The perfect first touch. The perfect pass. The perfect finish. Football became his canvas. Europe soon came calling. Inter Milan, one of the biggest clubs in the world. A dream move. Or so it seemed. Italian football in the 1990s was brutal. Space disappeared instantly. Defenders hunted every mistake. Every touch came under pressure. For the first time in his career, football stopped feeling natural. The move never truly worked. Critics questioned him. Some wondered if Ajax had made him look better than he really was. Others believed he simply wasn't suited to Italian football. Great careers are rarely straight lines. Sometimes, they need the right home. That home arrived in North London. Arsenal. English football. A league built on speed, strength, physical battles. Many believed Bergkamp would struggle again. They couldn't have been more wrong. Instead of changing his football, Bergkamp changed English football. Supporters had rarely seen touches like his. First touches that killed the ball instantly. Passes that split entire defenses. Moments that seemed impossible. Until Dennis Bergkamp made them look easy. The Premier League slowed down every time he touched the ball. Defenders rushed towards him. Bergkamp welcomed them. Because every challenge created another opportunity. A quick turn. A disguised pass. A perfectly weighted through ball. By the time defenders realized what had happened, the attack had already begun. His legs followed the game. His mind was already there. Soon Arsenal weren't simply winning matches. They were creating memories. And Dennis Bergkamp was at the center of them all. But the greatest moments of his remarkable career were still to come. Some players are remembered for statistics. Others, for moments. Dennis Bergkamp gave football moments that still feel impossible. By the late 1990s, Arsenal had found their rhythm. Then Arsène Wenger arrived. The French manager didn't just see a brilliant footballer. He saw the player who could transform English football. Together, they changed what the Premier League believed was possible. English football had always admired power, directness, crosses, physical battles. Bergkamp introduced something different. Patience, precision, imagination. He didn't force football. He invited it. Every touch had a purpose. Every movement created space. Every pass carried possibility. Teammates learned a simple lesson. If Dennis Bergkamp wanted the ball somewhere, run there. He had already seen it. Then came Newcastle United. March 2002. A goal that would become one of football's greatest masterpieces. Robert Pires played the pass. Bergkamp received it with his back to goal. Nikos Debizas closed in. Most forwards would protect the ball. Most would lay it off. Most would turn away from danger. Dennis Bergkamp imagined something nobody else could see. With one magical touch, he guided the ball around the defender. Not past him. Around him. The defender turned one way. Bergkamp glided the other. Without breaking stride, he calmly finished beyond the goalkeeper. It wasn't just a goal. It was imagination becoming reality. His legs followed the game. His mind was already there. Then came France '98. The World Cup quarter-final. The Netherlands against Argentina. The score was level. Extra time was only moments away. One long pass traveled through the night sky. Bergkamp's first touch killed it instantly. His second touch moved it away from Roberto Ayala. His third touch found the far corner. Football history written in 3 touches. Even today, it's remembered as one of the greatest World Cup goals ever scored. Not because of power, not because of speed, because of perfection. His legs followed the game. His mind was already there. Back in North London, Arsenal continued to grow. League titles, FA Cups, memorable European nights. Then came the season that would define an era. 2003. The Invincibles. An entire Premier League season. Without defeat. Thierry Henry scored the goals. Patrick Vieira dominated midfield. The defense stood firm. But many teammates would tell you, Dennis Bergkamp made everything connect. He was the heartbeat between defense and attack. The calm in football's chaos. The player who made everyone around him better. There was another side to Bergkamp's story. One that showed remarkable courage. He developed a fear of flying. A challenge that affected much of his later career. Rather than hide it, he adapted. He traveled by car, by train, whatever it took to keep playing. Some saw limitation. Dennis Bergkamp saw another problem to solve. Football has celebrated players who were faster, stronger, more athletic. Dennis Bergkamp reminded us that football has always belonged to thinkers. Players who solve problems before anyone else even sees them. Players who turn impossible ideas into unforgettable moments. That was his gift. He wasn't simply creative. He wasn't simply elegant. He wasn't simply intelligent. He was all three. At exactly the right moment. His football never looked rushed. Because his mind had already finished the move. Before everyone else had started it. Young players copied his goals. His first touch. His turns. His composure. Very few could copy what truly made him special. His vision. That cannot be taught. Only admired. Football has produced players with greater pace, greater strength, greater athleticism. But very few have ever understood the game. Quite like Dennis Bergkamp. Some players ran faster than everyone else. Dennis Bergkamp simply thought faster. His legs followed the game. His mind was already there. That is why Dennis Bergkamp will always remain a true footballing icon. Not because he made football look easy, but because he made the impossible look effortless. What is your favorite Dennis Bergkamp moment?